class, children, in economics. In the first video, you people learned about the meaning of development from different perspectives, the indicators of economic development. Today, in the same lesson, the topic is sustainability of development. Sustainable economic development is taken to mean development without damaging the environment and not compromising with the needs of the future generation. The consequences of environmental degradation do not respect to national or state boundaries. Sustainability of development is comparatively a new area of knowledge in which scientists, economists, philosophers, and other social scientists are working together. Natural resources can be divided into renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Here, in the natural resources, the two division renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources are replenishable. Example, solar energy. Non-renewable resources are non-replenishable. Example, coal, petroleum. Groundwater is an example of a renewable resource. The question arises as to how sustainable development is possible if the resources are overused rather than getting replenished. Non-renewable resources get exhausted after a certain number of years of extracting and using them, and they cannot be replenished. Here, do you know, children, literacy rate of Tamil Nadu is the second highest among the southern states. Tamil Nadu's literacy rate is higher than the national average. The enrollment for higher education in Tamil Nadu is the highest in India. About the sustainability. To achieve the real sustainability, we need to balance of economic, social and environmental sustainability in equal harmony. In general, the question of development or progress is continuous at all times. As a member of society and as individuals, we need to ask where we want to go, what we wish to become, and what our goals are. Here, about the renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable or replenishable resources. These are pollution free and environment friendly. These resources take a short time for renewal. Example, solar energy, wind energy, water, wood, paper. Here it is given. Non-renewable energy, these resources are non-replenishable resources which pollute and damage the environment. Millions of years are needed for the formation of these resources. Example, metals, glass, fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, what did we know? Coal, petroleum, natural gas and diesel. Next, policies for sustainable development. Here, the non-conventional source of energy. Use of non-conventional source of energy. India depends on thermal and hydropower plants to meet its power needs. Both these sources have an adverse environmental impact. Thermal power plants emit large quantities of carbon dioxide, which pollute the environment. The next one, solar power in India. Solar power is the conversion of energy from sunlight into electricity, that we know well, either directly using photovoltaic cells or indirectly using concentrated solar power. Solar panels absorb the sunlight as a source of energy to generate electricity. A solar electric system can reliably produce electricity for our home and offices. These distributed solar systems are often installed by home and business owners to reduce their electricity cost. Solar power in India is a fast developing industry. In the screen you can see, children, the solar power plant in India just became the biggest in the world. Tamil Nadu is the state with the highest installed solar capacity in India. Tamil Nadu is one of the leading solar power producing states in India. As on 31st of July 2017, the total installed capacity in Tamil Nadu is 1697 megawatt. Next, about the environmental policy. How it is in India. Environmental policies in India have been evolved considerably over the past 3 decades. These policies have covered a wide range of issues such as air, water pollution, waste management, and biodiversity conservation. India faces challenges in economic development which has to be achieved with limited sources, minimum externalities, and the presence of an uncertain climate. One of the approaches to overcome this challenge is through the path of sustainable development. The Supreme Court of India has interpreted and introduced new changes in environmental protection through a series of directions and judgments. Article 51A(g) of the Constitution states that it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. Development increases the quality of life. This means that people will have higher incomes, better education, better health and nutrition, less poverty, and more equality of opportunity. Okay, children. So, the environmental policy, sustainable exhibitions, sustainable procurement, sustainable design, go green on energy, pollution reduction, conservation of resources, and sustainability awareness. Okay. The next one is Environment Act. Some environmental acts in India. Here 6 types of acts and the actions also given. The first one is National Green Tribunal Act 2010. The action is environmental protection and conservation of forest and other natural resources. As the same in Biological Diversity Act in 2002, this act provides for conservation of biological diversity. As the same in Wildlife Protection Act, it providing protection to wild animals and birds. So, the next one about the economic growth. The growth story of Tamil Nadu given by Amartya Sen. The Amartya Sen, Professor Amartya Sen. Tamil Nadu is one of the states having achieved a rapid progress with a relatively short period despite it started from appalling levels of poverty, deprivation and inequality. Amartya Sen said, economic growth without investment in human development is unsustainable and unethical. During the short period, Tamil Nadu, much to the consternations of many economists initiated bold social programs such as universal midday meals in primary schools and started putting in place an extensive social infrastructures, school, health center, road, public transport, water supply, electricity connection, and much more. Today, Tamil Nadu has some of the best public services among all Indian states, and many of them are accessible to all on a non discriminatory basis. Last but not least, there is no evidence that the cultivations of human capability has been at the cost of conventional economic success such as fast economic growth. Tamil Nadu have some of the highest per capita incomes and the lowest poverty rates among all Indian states. Economic growth in turn has enabled these states to sustain and consolidate active social policies. This is an important example of the complementarity between economic growth and public support. And the same, he said, poverty is not just a lack of money, it's not having the capability to realize one's full potential as a human being, said by the great Amartya Sen, professor. From this lesson, you people learnt about in the volume 1, the first one, unit 1, part 1 and part 2. Development refers to the progress of a particular field or a particular person. Economic development means overall growth of all sectors of the economy. The major indicators of the economic development are per capita income, net national product, purchasing power parity, and human development index. Human resource is necessary for the progress of any country. These are and all in the part 1 you people learned. In the part 2, sustainable development means development should take place without damaging the environment and preserve it for the future. The Wildlife Protection Act 1972 is aimed to add protection to wild animals and birds. Thermal power plants emit large quantity of carbon dioxide which is harmful to the environment. And about the growth story of Tamil Nadu itself, and the great economist, the Nobel laureate Professor Amartya Sen also we people learnt. Okay, children, I hope you people understand this lesson. Okay, children, thank you.